Okay, looks like we are now live. We are live from my schoolie. So, what do you think about that? Pretty cool, huh? So, here's a view of the schoolie. Let me kill some lights, maybe. There we go. There we go. Nice and cozy. It's a little chilly outside, but it's not too bad in here. I went ahead and plugged the electric heater in. We've got the cord running in from the garage, so that's keeping it pretty toasty. Not too bad. So if all goes well, I can go ahead and stream live here without any issues. I think those LED lights are really messing with everything. What do you think without the lights? Might be a little bit better. I don't know. Those lights back there are brighter. Look at that. Those things are like bright. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Glad to have you back. You were on the last live feed. The connection out here, I hope it's not bad because I'm out in the bus right now instead of in the house. So I assume the connection might be weaker, but as long as I'm not pixelating or anything, I think we'll be all right. It should be good. At least I hope so. So I'm going to make myself comfortable here. And we're going to have some live chat. Hopefully we get some people on the channel tonight. That'll be awesome. Get some good conversation going. It's a little grainy, isn't it? I think it is a little bit grainy, but it's not too bad. All right, I can deal with grainy. It's better than pixelated or screwed up, you know what I mean? So I think we're good with that. And let me see, let me try this light shit again. See that? That's like way too bright. And that one there is like the sun. Yeah, I got more than enough light. So I guess we'll just do it like that for now. I think that'll work out. So we got one viewer. We're chatting back and forth, having a good time on St. Patrick's Day. What else do you got to do on St. Patrick's Day? Except go to the bar and hang out with all your friends and have a good time. So, yeah, I guess you're right. I am in a steel capsule. Literally a steel capsule. So I got my favorite beer here tonight. Ice cold, tastes good. I actually came out here and cleaned the bus up. Even though we haven't camped in it or anything since our cross-country schoolie trip, I actually drove the bus back and forth to work for a week, and I didn't realize how much dirt I tracked in just from this doorway here coming in. And I had to pull this throw rug up and clean the floor up and make it look at least, you know, halfway presentable, because small places really, I tell you what, attract the dirt. I mean, it don't take long to get dirty, but it don't take long to clean up. So best of both worlds, right? Yep. So I did want to talk about a few things tonight. We'll probably wait till we get some more viewers and stuff. I'm going to talk about the schoolie repair I got going on. There's a fuel injection mod I want to do to the bus, and a couple other maintenance items I want to take care of. So we're going to get doing, you know, if this works out here live like it is, anytime I'm working on the bus out here, I can actually broadcast live, which would be pretty cool, you know, so you get the, you know, live action shot of what's going on out here. Come springtime, I need to repaint the hood of the bus, and I'm going to roll the paint on, because all the rolled paint that's on the bus is in great shape, but the paint that was sprayed it's chipping away, you know, so road debris and, you know, sand or whatever, it's taken all the paint that I sprayed on the hood is starting to chip off, and it don't look great. I mean, it looks good from 10 feet or whatever, but I'm going to take care of it. Yeah, I know. When we were out in California and Arizona last January, on the way home, we took Highway 62, which was like the high desert country out of California. And there was, we actually went through a couple sandstorms, and it was pretty wild from the distance. It's like, you know, I didn't know what I was looking at first. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, that's sand. That's not snow. So that was all right. I mean, something different to experience. I suppose it wasn't good for the paint or the windshields. Yes, clear coat is a good protection. You know, that industrial oil-based paint, though, you don't really need a clear coat. That stuff is like, it dries, and it's really hard stuff. Like I said, everything that I rolled with the oil-based industrial paint, it's holding up really nice. I mean, there's not a scratch anywhere. Even at the back door where I have to use vice grips to open up the latch, there's no scratches. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I think that oil-based paint, I'm going to order another gallon off of Amazon. I think the paint was called Diamond Bright, and the color I used on the roof and the bottom sides of the bus was called Silver Gray. And it's not a shiny silver, and it's not a gray. It's a silver gray, I guess. It's a really light gray. When you get up on it in the sunshine, you see a little bit of sparkle to it, but not really much. I mean, the bus looks great as it is, but I definitely got to touch the paint up. So that'll give me something to do in the spring, along with whatever else I want to do. A couple little changes I want to do inside. This bench here, I love it. It's great, but I wish I made it a little bit deeper. It's only like 18 inches deep. So when you're sitting in it, I don't know. If it was a little bit deeper, it'd probably be a little more comfortable. And I think maybe a little bit lower would be good. But I'm happy with it. I can't complain. Hey, welcome to the channel, Mark. Can't wait for the day to come and get a bus. I couldn't wait either. And the thing is I had to wait like 2 months to find the right bus. It literally took me 2 months to find the bus I wanted, because I didn't want to jump into the first bus that I seen and said, okay, we're going to do this bus, because I'm really glad I did my research first. I mean, hey, Heat Seeker Bus, welcome to the channel. How you doing, buddy? Let me shut this fan off here. It's getting a little bit chilly out here. I said I got a little electric heater running through shore power to make it not so cold. You can actually see my breath a little bit. It's that cold. But you know what? My beer's not getting warm, so that's a good thing. School of You, hey, welcome. 4mm screw. No, I rolled everything from the body back was painted with rollers. The only thing I sprayed was the black on the sides and the hood itself. The entire hood was spray painted. The rest of the bus pretty much was rolled on. And all the rolled on industrial paint's holding up really nice. Hey, look at that. We got 5 people on the channel tonight. That's pretty good. That's more than I expected, because I think the last live video I did, we had a whopping 3 people on. So, hey, this is better than last time, right? So that's pretty cool. I wanted to get online earlier, and I was going to try to get on right at 7 o'clock, but I had a couple things I needed to finish up, and I was working on the car, and I got all that caught up, and it's about, 20 till 7 when I started this. So a little bit late, about 40 minutes, but not too bad. I can't complain. At least I didn't lose an audience over it or anything like that. Yeah, I like the industrial paint, Mark. I tell you what, it holds up great. I was just saying earlier that where my back door is, in order to open the emergency door, my handle broke off, so I got to take vice grips and lock it on, and I've missed a couple times and hit the paint. It's never scratched. There's no, circular gouge mark or anything where the vice grips were rubbing. I mean, this industrial oil-based paint is the way to go. I mean, that's really good stuff. And if you roll it on, it's not going to be perfect, but it looks good from a distance. Like I said, it's a 10-footer is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, okay. So you're at home, heat seeker, and you're living in your bus full time at home. That's cool. We actually did that after we got this bus built. Um, we lived in it for like 2 days over a weekend just to try it out, and it worked out good. And we lived in it for 14 days on our cross country schooling trip. So, yeah, we couldn't complain there. It was totally livable, totally comfortable. We had no issues. So I think the future plans, for the bus is, I thought about the wood stove thing, but I went against it. I got a little propane portable heater. It does a nice job. If I set it on the floor right underneath the fantastic fan, and I crack the vent just a little, just a little bit, it warms it up nice in here. You don't get no fumes. Mullet groupies, LOL. Hell yeah. We got 5 of them tonight, so that's pretty cool. And it's St. Patrick's Day. What the hell are you guys doing here watching live broadcast? You could be out at the bar with all the partiers out there for St. Patrick's Day. Woo! Green beer. We got green beer, and we got green vomit, and green beer, and more green beer. Yeah, I am a cheap date. I ain't gonna cost you nothing. I don't even ask you guys for money on my channel. I'm not out there saying, I need your money. Even when my bus had mechanical issues, I'm join my Patreon, become a subscriber, become a Patreon. Give me your money. Buy your Mulletman mullet hat with a built-in mullet, or buy your Mulletman coffee mug. We could. No, I'm not. I don't want your money. Walking Dead, I gave up at season 7. I just kind of lost interest in it. And I know 7 and 8 are all on Netflix right now, but I just never went back to it. I decided, nah, kind of bored with it, kind of done with it, But it's all good. I don't mind being your cheap date tonight. Yeah, that's like Sons of Anarchy. Me and the old lady were both really into it, but come season 6, we were done with it. It's when it's played, it's played. It's played out, you're done. Z Nation, I don't know if anybody's watched that on Netflix. That's kind of, I don't know, sort of a comical zombie apocalypse type show, but it got really stupid, like season 4. So, Trailer Park Boys, though, I watched that all the way through, baby. From season 1 to season 12 and all the movies. You can't go wrong with the Trailer Park Boys. Thanks, Heat Seeker. Yes, we did have a great trip with the bus. And I'm glad the bus decided to wait till we got home to pop up the mechanical issues that it did. So it's been pretty good to us. It's been really good. And hell, since I've been home from vacation, I think I drove it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 times. So the bus ain't sitting. Since we got home, it hasn't just been parked here and not moving. So I guarantee that. That's the worst thing you can do with any vehicle. RV, car, truck, just don't let it sit. If it's going to sit for more than 2 weeks, get out there and start it up and drive it. Take it down the road. I don't mean just go and start the engine and let it run. You got to run it down the road. Keep everything going. Keep its legs stretched. You got to stretch its legs every now and then. Granted, it's not like, you can throw $5 in the fuel tank and have fun all day, but you got to at least get it out. You still got snow out your way, Heat Seeker? Our snow is melted for now. I mean, there's a little bit of snow showing up on like the north side of the buildings and stuff, but all in all, it's pretty good. Most of it is gone for the most part. And hopefully it stays that way. We don't need more snow. Where are you at? You up in Montana or some shit? I've seen your channel. I just can't remember where you're located at. I watch a lot of schooly channels out there. Ontario, yeah, that's cold up there. New York, okay, all melted, good to go. Unless you're like Syracuse. I suppose they might have a little bit on the ground, or Buffalo, because they usually have pretty good snowfalls like we do here in the Lake Erie region where I'm at. Most of my snow's gone, and I'm glad, and I hope it goes and stays away. That's all I got to say. I'm just done with the snow. I'm tired of the cold, and the forecast that is predicted is going to be in the 40s for the next 5 or 6 days. So it's not exactly spring, even though the first day of spring is coming up here pretty soon. Arizona, I loved it, dude. When I went to Arizona for Schoolie Palooza, we were there for 2 days. I wanted to stay longer, but we had obligations in California. I love the Arizona desert. And I tell you what, when we decide to go full time, when we're ready to just pull the plug, literally, and hit the road, come wintertime, we're going to be in Arizona. We're going to be in Southern California. That's the place to be, you know. And then as the weather starts warming up come, you know, March and April, we'll probably head east into Florida because that's a good time of year to be in Florida, April to May. And then it starts getting really sticky out there and really hot. So from there, I guess we'll head north slowly, you know, take our time, you know, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, and then make our way up into where I'm at to see our friends here during August and September. And I suppose we would probably stay in the region until the leaves start changing colors. You know, you got to stick around for the changing of the leaves. And then after that, we'll head west again and repeat, recycle, and do it all over again, year by year. You know, you just can't be in a hurry. I did want to ask if anybody out there is doing this like full time. There's a question I've been wanting to ask, and the question is to quit your rat race and quit the job and like go into full-time nomad type lifestyle. Does time really slow down for you? Like, you know, like every day is slower and slower. You're out of the rat race. You're out of the hustle and bustle. I'm just wondering if anything like that has changed as far as time goes. You know, the days seem to last longer. The weeks go by longer. I'm not sure. I don't know if any of you guys are full-timers or not, but that's what I hear from a few people, but I'm not sure because I haven't really experienced it. Like the 2 weeks we were on vacation, I couldn't tell if time was going slow or not because we had so much to do. Really? Oh, the elevation good. What's it like in the winter, though, at 6,500 feet? I can imagine at 6,500 feet in January, you get lots of snow up there. Probably pretty bitter cold, too. I'd be happy to come up your way. Hell, I could stay up there for, you know, as long as I can. Enjoy it. Right. Everybody's nervous about heading out because they don't know where they're going. And that's the whole thing about it. When you don't know where you're going and you just like kind of go places. And, you know, if you can get a 14-day pass at this spot, or, you know, if you can get some free camping or boondocking in at certain locations, stay for as long as you can and just kind of move on, you know, slowly. That's cool, Mark. I got 1 acre where I'm at. We've been renting this house for 23 years. And that's pretty much the reason we built the schoolie, because we don't own this place. And you might all be saying, oh, you're throwing your money away on rent. But really, I'm paying like $520 a month here. And I got an acre of land. I got a full basement, 1-story ranch house. I got a 2-car garage with my cars. It's actually 3 cars. And it's nice out here in the country. It's peaceful. It's beautiful. And that's why we haven't moved. And the thing is, you know, we discussed buying this house. And we know what the landlord paid for the house. We know he paid, you know, $50-something thousand for the house. And we discussed what happened if we bought this place when he did. What would have happened now? And we recall that right after we moved in here, it was within like the first 2 years, our well took a shit. And they had to drill a new well, and that was like an $8,000 bill. And there's no way I could have pulled that out of my ass. That probably would have been a mortgage to fix that. And then 2 years after that, I'm going to say maybe 1, because we were only here like 3 years. The septic system took a shit. They had excavators and shit back here and dug the whole backyard up, a new leach bed, new sewage system. That was like a $12,000 bill. I couldn't afford, you know, to fix that. So that would have been, you know, another mortgage on the house. The roof on the garage went, the roof on the house went, the furnace went, the foundation in the garage. I mean, I can go on and on and on of all the problems that we had at the house that we're renting and that we didn't have to pay for. So not having to pay for major repairs has been a blessing, because technically if I had to take a mortgage out for expensive repairs, you know, like the furnace or the well or the septic system or whatever, I'd still be paying for it. I wouldn't own it even to this day, you know, after being here 20 years. Because if my original loan was for a 30-year loan, and then I took out a loan on top of another loan, I'd never own it. I mean, it's the same thing that I see a lot of people go through. It's like, say, you know, it's a never-ending thing. Is all you do is put money into your house. You just, Mark, Watkins Glen, we're supposed to go there. The old lady wants to go to Watkins Glen in April. Finger Lakes area. We want to go check it out and get a campground or something up there. When the hell? Sometime in April when it warms up. I guess next time I get a 3-day weekend or something, we want to go up there and get a nice little campground, and we might take the bicycles with us. I'm going to configure some kind of way to put a bicycle rack on the back of this bus so we can ride our bikes around. So that's pretty sweet, Watkins Glen. I'm glad you mentioned that. No, I don't want to run super singles. Don't plan on it. I think the tires that are equipped with the bus by the original designers did a good job. These Dayton wheels, I like them. And I like my tires. They got a lot of traction. So I haven't had any problems in the wintertime driving my bus. I think with a super single, you'd have a lot of problems getting around anytime the roads are snow covered. Hell yeah, Mark, we'll have to hook up. You know, come April, I'll boondock on your property. I don't need no cord. My schoolie don't need no cord. They don't need no plug-ins. You got everything you need. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys, a friend of mine is redoing her house. Well, she's been for the last couple of years, fixing her place up, you know, making it nice. She got a new roof. She got it repainted. And she redid her bathroom, the guest bathroom. She remodeled the bedroom. And now she's doing the mud room. And the mud room is where you come in the main entrance. And you can see the hot water tank and, you know, the electrical system and all that. And they're going to build a wall to cover that. And they're redoing the ceiling. And the wood burner is also in the mud room. I talked her into doing a off-grid room. I mean, she can keep the 110 that she has in there, you know, keep all the lights, keep all that stuff going. But I told her it wouldn't cost you a whole lot to have an off-grid room. And we're talking a basic off-grid, no power inverter. We can do one 100-watt solar panel, 2 golf cart batteries like I have, or maybe even 2 panels like I have, because her roof that is in the mud room actually slopes towards the south. So 1 or 2 solar panels, 2 golf cart batteries, and run 12-volt lighting, 12-volt television like the one I have hanging right behind the laptop here, and 12-volt radio. What more do you need? I mean, if the power's out, she's got heat with the wood burner. You need lights, a little entertainment. You don't even need that, but it'll be nice. I mean, it could be a really basic system to have an off-grid room. So I'm thinking if she wants to, she could even run a little 12-volt Dometic refrigerator, you know, a small refrigerator. Scullies never have to drink hot beer. No, it's always cold. Whether you set it outside the door when it's cold outside or use the refrigerator. We've actually have our refrigerator unplugged right now because I don't know if you guys remember the cross-country schoolie trip, episode 1. We didn't even get started yet. It was like the day before, and my refrigerator froze up. And all the food we put in the freezer spoiled, and we threw a lot of shit out. And it started working when we went to Tennessee, which was cool. But since we got back, what we did is I unplugged the refrigerator. I don't turn the power inverter on anymore. We opened it up, and we totally cleaned the inside out. Bleach water, wiped everything down like new. Put a little thing of baking soda in there, and we left the door open for like 4 or 5 days, you know, just to let it air out. And then it's been closed up for the last couple weeks now, and it's fine. So we are not going to plug the refrigerator in until we're ready to use it again. So that would probably be come April, whenever we decide to go up to Finger Lakes, New York, Watkins Glen. So that's pretty sweet. Hey guys, looks like we got 10 viewers on tonight. Sweet. It's good to see y'all. This is my second live video. The last live video I did was a very small audience, and we have already more than doubled the crowd. So that's pretty cool. And it's St. Patrick's Day. Everybody's supposed to be out partying, man. You know, supposed to be out there drinking green beer and hanging out with your friends and holding their heads out of the toilet bowl while they're puking. Make sure their hair don't get in the toilet water or something. You know, isn't that what they do on St. Patrick's Day? I don't know. It's been a while. I haven't been out partying in a long, long time. All right, now it looks like I'm going to have to plug my laptop in because my battery's getting low. So let me work something out here real quick. I should show you guys what I'm doing. I mean, but there's not a whole lot of light unless I blammo. So what I got, let me get down here and get it. So I got a cord running into the bus, and I got this 3-way here. So I think if I plug, I hope I don't break a breaker or nothing, because I'm running a 600-watt heater in here right now. So I unplug that. We'll plug that in. We'll plug that in. And then I'm going to plug in the charger for the laptop right there. There we go. I got my cord for my laptop. Yeah, there we go. we can keep the batteries charged up. There we go. My battery is now charging on shore power. There's actually been a lot of traffic on my road tonight. It's kind of weird. I've actually seen like 7 or 8 cars go by, and normally you don't see that much traffic. So for those of you that are here, I assume you all seen the inside of the schoolie, you know, on previous videos and whatnot. So here we are in my schoolie. Like I said, I was in here cleaning up earlier, making the place look kind of nice, you know, because after driving it in the wintertime, you track a lot of salt and a lot of dirt. And let me try something here. Kill that one. So that's pretty bright back there. Those lights are very, very bright. Almost blinding. Let's see here. Try that one and that one. I guess that's a little bit better. I don't know. I don't know what lighting's best, but those lights are weird. That seems a little better, I guess. I don't know. It seems like when I'm in front of the light, it really gets grainy. Like it's almost like a nighttime video. And if I turn these on, it's like, wow, that's bright. That's very bright. Want the light behind the camera instead of behind you, like sort of like I got going on here. But here, let's try moving this up here. The light behind the camera. And we're going to shut that one and that one off. So maybe that makes it a little bit, yeah, I guess the light behind the camera sort of works out. I got to open this vent because I'm smoking in my schoolie. Oh, you're bad. Can't believe you're smoking in your schoolie. Yeah, that's what the fan's for. My biggest fan. It's fantastic. All right, so that is definitely much better. What about the light back there? Should I kill that? Whoa, shit. I'm going to try killing those lights back there. Or how about maybe just that one? Maybe just that one. That'll probably... Yeah, that's not bad. That looks pretty good. Is there no light back off? It's too bright. I can't see nothing. I can actually flip this one that way. So, and then maybe this one that way. No, I don't know. I don't know what the best lighting is. That's actually pretty good right there. It's not too grainy. That's bueno. Bueno. It's not grainy at all. But I like these lights here. They're very nice. But they're not very nice for the camera. Not at all. So it seems like my Wi-Fi connection's not bad. I literally took my Wi-Fi router and I had to stick it in the window and then come out here and experiment a little bit to see if I had internet connection. Because I wasn't having a connection where it was sitting on the little table there. So this works out good. Oh, yeah, the refrigerator magnets. On our cross-country schooling trip, we went ahead and bought refrigerator magnets for all the states that we were at. So California, Arizona, Oklahoma, Albuquerque, New Mexico. We had to get a special one, the old Route 66 thing. Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Hollywood. I was in Hollywood. Hollywood sucked. Nothing good there. Wasn't very impressed with the whole California thing. it was, I think my favorite parts of California was the beaches, like Newport Beach, Huntington Beach. Those were pretty nice. And I liked Palm Springs. That was the Palm Desert area. That was nice. I really didn't care for Los Angeles. I didn't care for the hustle bustle and the traffic. Hollywood, Beverly Hills was just stupid. I don't plan on going back there for any reason at all. Yeah. So it looks like we lost like half our viewers already. We're down to 5, but that's cool. It's still early. It's not late at all. Got plenty of time. I could even, well, I can't turn on music, right? If I turn the music on, then you're going to have copyright infringements and all that. So we can't do music. We all know that. So let's talk about other schoolies. Any of you out there remember James Jeffrey Binney? What happened to him? He was one of the people I started following when I started building my schoolie. And, he had Earl the Bus, James Jeffrey Binney. Man, did he have some hard knocks. I tell you what, a lot of trial and error that guy went through. And I don't even know how far. It's been months I haven't seen a video from him. It's been a long time, so I have no idea what happened to him. I was looking forward to maybe getting an update or something from, I think the last thing he did is he got his, he was building a concrete bar table or something. So, yeah, I seen that on his last video. Dean is selling his schoolie, and he is going to build a boat. Boat life. Right? Boat life. But you know what? You can live on the water for free indefinitely if you do it right. So just because he's selling his schoolie, I'm not going to stop watching his channel, even though his channel is named The Schoolie. He might have to change the name to The Schooner or something. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, he's selling his bus. And he's going to live on the water. We're all going to be landlubbers. Yeah, I'll stay a landlubber myself. Screw that water shit. It's so unpredictable, So I can't stand here forever. I'm going to try to find a comfortable place. Maybe I can move my laptop over here. The light will still be behind. We can make it a little more homey. I can move this over here. I can freshen my beer. Looks like my Bluetooth speaker is now charged. Bluetooth speaker. This is what I use on my bicycle. I haven't had any leaks in my windows at all. Not one. The only problem I had is the 2 windows in the very back are wider than the rest of the windows. I think all the rest of the windows are like, I don't know, 20-something inches, but those back ones are like 36. And neither one of them would stay up. I mean, I tried fixing the latches. I tried adjusting them. I lubricated everything. You slam them up as hard as you can, and you start driving around. And one side wants to cock down, and then the other side. So behind the shower, you can't even get to the window. So before we even built the shower, I screwed that window shut. And unfortunately, for the cross-country trip we did in January, that window would not stay closed, so I screwed it shut. So the 2 very back windows in my schoolie are screwed closed because they would not stay. But the rest of them work perfectly, have no problems. And then the mud flap idea. I don't know why more of you don't do the whole truck mud flap thing. That's what these are. See that? It's a black plastic truck mud flap. And it hides all your construction work. You can still clean your windows, and you can also use the same mud flaps. For instance, if the sun is beating down on this side of the bus and it's getting really hot inside, you can double these up very easily by popping them in, and then you black out the whole window. So what I do is I'll take all the mud flaps from that side, put them on this side to block them off, because sometimes, you know, the curtains just don't cut it unless I had darker curtains. But I really, really love these. And these things are the shit. They're flexible. They won't break. Sometimes if the sun is shining on them, they want to warp a little bit and bend. It's no problem. If it starts to bend, you pull it and you flip it around the other way. Pop her back in and forget about it. You know, I love them. I think they're perfect. Because I went through, you know, all the scenarios. What am I going to do with my windows? Am I going to tint them dark? Am I going to paint them black? Or I don't know. What am I going to do? So let me set this up over here. There we go. That's some good light. That's some good lighting right there. Look at that. I can see everybody. Everybody can see me. We're going to shut that off and close this for a second. Let the heat. You can probably hear my little heater over there making some weird noises right now. It's like something got on the fan. I don't know what's going on. Yes, you can get white ones. The only white ones I've seen, though, usually have, you know, something printed on them. So I don't know if you can get the white blanks. I would have to ask, like, maybe our vendors that we get the mud flaps from. I could ask if they had white or if white's available. But I'm pretty sure you can get plain white 32 by 36 or 32 by 32 plastic mud flaps. All you'd have to do is, you know, call around, I guess, and see who can get them. Turn it off. There goes another car. See that? A lot of traffic tonight. I don't get where they're all coming from, but there's a lot of traffic tonight. Now, hey, this works good. This lighting is perfect. I actually have my porch light on outside too. So I don't know. I like my porch light. It's nice whenever you're inside the bus and you want to see what's outside before you go stepping in something like a frog. I actually get a lot of frogs out here. I don't know why, but especially in the springtime and closer to fall, I see a lot of frogs. They must come out of the ditches or something, but they like to hang around the driveway and the front of the garage, or even in the garage. Every now and then, I'll go out to the garage and I'll open the big door, and there'll be 2 or 3 frogs just kind of huddled down there, hanging out. So, get a lot of frogs out here. You're talking about an APU? Oh, bear sighting. Yeah, we get bear sightings every now and then here. The single cylinder, they got single and 2 cylinder engines. It's called an auxiliary power unit, like Rigmaster, Carrier, Thermo King. The problem is I work on a lot of those APU units on big rigs. They're not very reliable, and parts are expensive. Daryl Hilton, welcome to the channel. Are you drinking the same kind of beer? You said that you got my beer tonight. Instead of your normal beer, they said they keep jacking the prices up on your beer. I don't know what you drink normally. I had some water earlier, Mark. I had to hydrate before I dehydrate. There's another car. Look at that. Another car coming. I think everybody's out drinking and driving tonight, you know, because it is St. Patrick's Day. Labatt Ice. Oh, okay. I drank Labatt Ice. I actually, Labatt Blue is my sociable beer. If I go to a party or, hanging out with friends, I'll drink Labatt Blue. Normally I drink this beer, and it's because I like it. I like the taste. I like the flavor of it. Too many bears. One wouldn't let me out of my bus last. Wow, really? See? That's a lot of bears up there in Canada then. Down here, bear sightings are rare. Daryl Hilton, he could even, chime in on bear sightings. We've had them here, Ashtabula County, Ohio, Crawford County, Pennsylvania, Erie County, Pennsylvania. So, but not too many. Crown and Coke. I haven't had Crown in a long time. It's been ages. I almost want to move this thing closer somehow, but I don't want to drop it. Ooh, check the balance issue. Hope I don't stand up and rock the bus. The laptop's going to hit the ground. We're all good. Yeah, very few, Daryl. It's not too often we see them. So, by the way, Daryl Hilton, he's a local. I know him through a friend of mine, Scotty B. We do bicycle rides. In the summertime when the weather's nice, I host Monday night rides. That's how I met Scotty. That's how I met Daryl. It's pretty cool. This last year, I didn't do a whole lot of bike riding. This year, I'm going to change that up. We're going to do a lot more rides. We're going to try to do every Monday night possible. We just got to get it done. As soon as this weather breaks, man, bike riding season, I got to drop some of this weight that I put back on over the winter. It's an endless cycle every year. I started riding bikes back in 2014, and I lost a lot of weight. I was pushing like 300 pounds, and I'm down to like 240, so I'm happy with that. I didn't take the weight off quickly, but, I quit drinking soda pop. That's the first thing I cut out, so every now and then, I'm not saying I totally quit pop, but I'm going to say in a week, I may have two sodas. That's about it. Beer, if I cut this out, I'd probably lose a lot more weight, but, what the hell's the fun in that? But yeah, more bike riding, Daryl. We're going to do some trail rides. We're going to do some killer trail rides. I hope you're up for that. I like the dog nose idea because I can work on it. I don't know if you watch my repair and maintenance series, but it is so much easier to work on a bus where you can lift the hood and the whole engine is right there. I mean, I don't like trying to reach into small cram spaces to fix something. It's really nice. I mean, I'm going to tell you, on my bus, with the dog nose and the flip hood, the hardest job I already did it. And that was that turbo pedestal and outlet. It was a difficult job because it fought me. But this same engine, the T444E, which is the same Power Stroke engine, if this was in a pickup truck chassis, that job would have sucked even worse. If it was in a van chassis, it would have been kind of simple because there's a lot more room on the back of a E-Series van to get to the turbo. But yeah, I tell you what, man, I like the flip hood. Thanks, I appreciate that. And as far as like the front engine flat face buses, I think those are the hardest to work on. If I had a choice between a flat nose front engine or a flat nose rear engine, I would go with the rear engine because I think they accommodate a little bit more room to work on them on a rear engine configuration compared to a front flat face engine configuration. Yeah, one guy on each side of the motor. You got that right. There is one thing I'm going to do a video on the maintenance and repair, and I learned this from a YouTube channel called Power Stroke Help. And this guy, he's like the Power Stroke king. Now, the Power Stroke is the Ford version of the same engine I have. And I learned something. I actually learned a lot from him. I have been a Power Stroke mechanic for years. I worked for a Ford dealership. I work on a lot of 7.3 liter diesel engines, and I still do to this day. But he makes a living working on only Power Stroke engines. And that also includes the 6.0, the 6.4, and the new 6.7 liter Power Stroke engines. The 7.3, though, the all-time favorite, I learned that, okay, I don't want to make this too difficult, but a 7.3 liter International or Power Stroke engine has this rectangular housing on the front of the engine, and the high pressure oil pump bolts to the back of it. And it's actually a reservoir that holds oil. And that oil is the oil that circulates through both heads into your fuel injectors, because you have oil-fired fuel injectors. That oil is supposed to be filled up, replenished by your regular engine oil. It's all the same oil. But every time you change your engine oil, when you pull the drain plug out, you take the filter off, you put new oil in, that oil in that reservoir, that doesn't come out. And the only time you actually replenish that with new oil, which I thought was always replenished, I was wrong. Power Stroke Help, his channel, he was right. That oil is not replenished unless the level gets low, and it has to force feed it. So another thing that I have to add to my service, which I want to do here pretty soon as it gets warm out, I'll do it right here, is we're going to take the little plug off of that reservoir. We're going to suck the oil out of there, about a quart. And then we're going to put a quart of new oil in it, put the plug back in, run the engine for 10 or 15 minutes, and then repeat that step 2 more times. And what that does is the oil that is feeding your fuel injectors is actually being changed, because it does not get changed on your oil change. So I learned that. If you're going a rear engine bus and you're going to get a 40-footer, right? 38 40-footer mark, because that's like pretty much all you're going to get with a rear engine, I would totally go with the 8.3 Cummins. Yep. There you go. 8.3 Cummins. Oh, the 3060 trans, you can't go wrong with it. That is the beast combination. If you're looking for a rear pusher, full-size bus, and you want to hit the highway, and stay with traffic, that's what you want. 8.3 Cummins with the 3060. That's the only way to go. I did a lot of research before I bought my bus, but I figured, I heard all the stories, guys. Come on. AT545. Oh my God, a terrible transmission. It's going to overheat and it's going to fail you. Bullshit. All right, there's nothing wrong with the AT545 transmission. The only problem with the AT545 is it does not have an overdrive or a lockup. You can run that thing down the highway all day long and not hurt it. You're not going to overheat it. Now, if you go climbing mountains like all the time, steep mountain passes, and you don't have like an auxiliary cooler or a temperature gauge, it's going to get hot. And that's what destroys those transmissions. The AT545 can't take too much heat, and you generate a lot of heat when you're climbing hills. And if you're doing that on a daily basis and not letting it cool down properly, that's what's going to happen. That's like, for me, the top speed on my bus, I can go 65, 70. But if I go that fast, I'm pushing my RPMs past the max RPM. And max RPM on my bus is 2,600 RPM. My bus runs at 60 miles an hour at 2,600 RPM. Do I want to go faster? No, I don't. Even on my cross-country trip all the way to California and back, I was comfortable at 60 miles an hour. I didn't care about the cars whooping by me at 70, 80 plus miles an hour. That didn't bother me one bit. I was comfortable at 60. I really didn't want to go much faster than that. So, and I did take a few mountain routes. I mean, we took Interstate 40 all the way in, and we went in Albuquerque. We went into Flagstaff. We took 17. That's an all mountain pass. I didn't have any problems. You just got to know how to drive it right. If you're going to hold your accelerator to the floor and try climbing mountains all day, yeah, you might overheat your transmission. But that's, I don't have the AT 545 transmission, also the 542, the 540. They've been around forever. I mean, they've been around for like 40 years. They're cheap. You can replace your AT 545 for like $1,800. You can get a remanufactured transmission. I'm just saying, for what I do right now is we do recreational use. I am not a full-time schoolie guy. I'm not, Hobo Alley, living at home and then saying I'm living on the bus or nothing. I am a recreational schoolie user, and we use it a lot. We drive it a lot. We hit some mountains here in the Appalachians and, Pennsylvania and so forth. We haven't had no problems. And on the 2-week cross-country schoolie trip, we had no problems with our transmission. I did not. The last thing I was worried about on the whole trip was my transmission. It wasn't even a thing in my head. I wasn't even scared. Now, I will say, yes, for the flats, it's great. I will say, I went down 17 from Flagstaff, and there was some, I think, 6 to 8 mile, 6% to 8% grades. Some of them were up, some of them were down. The descent part was the easiest because here's the problem. Your transmission, if you have an AT 545, it does not have a lockup converter. It will not hold you back. If you're going down a hill and you let off the accelerator, you could go faster depending on how steep the hill is. The transmission's not going to hold your bus back. But if you sit there and then you're in a car and you just feather the brake and keep holding the brake and holding the brake to slow down, you're going to smoke them. I mean, you're going to smoke the brakes. I didn't have a problem because I knew how to drive my bus before I encountered it. When I started going down those 6% grades and I noticed my speed climbing, 55, 60, I would hold the brake on for a good 4 seconds, a good hard application, not locking the brakes up, but a good hard, slower down to like 40, then let off. Just let the bus coast, going down another corner, going around another corner, speed's getting up to around 60 again. Put the pedal down, hold it, slower down, let off. You're back down to 40 miles an hour again, maybe one more brake application like I explained, and you're down the hill. You didn't smoke nothing. Gearing down, if it's a really steep hill, you can drop it down to 3. That'll help you a little bit. But the way I drove it, I left that thing in drive, and I used the brakes accordingly, and I didn't smoke them off. I don't know if you guys are on Facebook or not, but there's the Schoolie Nation Facebook page. And that is one of those pages where you see all the newbie mistakes where, people buy a school bus and they convert it, or they drove it their first time or second time, and they encounter situations they have never had before because they're driving, a 15, 16, 20,000 pound school bus and they're not used to it. I mean, there's a lot of horror stories I've read, of situations like that. You got to learn to drive your bus accordingly. You got to think. You're in a brick. You're pushing a brick down the road. So, fuel mileage, aerodynamics, all that shit, it is what it is. And if you really think you want to travel 75 miles an hour down the interstate, you're not going to get the best fuel economy. Even if you got a rear pusher 8.3 Cummins with a 3060 Allison transmission, you're getting terrible fuel mileage at that speed. This particular bus with the 7.3 and the AT545, it always gets 10 miles to the gallon. I don't care if I am driving from here to my work and back or going cross country. I'm getting 10 miles to the gallon no matter what. That's just the nature of the beast. There's not really a set speed that says you're going to get better mileage. But I think if I keep pushing a bus, trying to push beyond what its capabilities are, that's when you're going to lose fuel economy. Yes, an awesome metallic brick. You are right. Yes, there was actually a big rig that was in the, when we went down 17, there was a big rig with a trailer in the runaway truck ramp. And there was a pickup truck with yellow flashing lights. He wasn't going to do shit for him, but he was there on the scene. But yeah, we seen that on 17. Thank God it wasn't me, right? We don't need that. Ain't nobody got time for that. And another thing you got to be careful about in a schoolie is, let's suppose you're going through a park or you're going through somewhere. Don't park in the grass. If the ground is moist in any way, your bus is going to sink. You want to keep your bus on pavement at all times. The only time it's acceptable to put your bus on grass or soft ground is when it's been dry for weeks and it's hot and warm, or if the ground is frozen, because your bus will sink. If you sink your bus down to the axle, you're done. And there's another thing. I considered replacing my drive tires. I considered putting steer tires on my drive axle. So instead of having, the big gnarly lug tires on the back, I was going to put some smooth straight tread tires to increase fuel economy, which, hey, it probably would, but it does no good for you in any kind of soft sand, gravel, dirt. It's not good at all. So if you think that you're going to run steer tires on your drive axle to make better fuel economy, and you are, so let's assume you increase by 1 mile per gallon. It's going to take a long time to save up that 1 mile per gallon, to make it pay for itself. But the first time you pull off the gravel or you pull off the road and you sink and those tires do nothing but spin, you're stuck. And if you got to pay a wrecker to come get you, it ain't going to be no $100 date, all right? Unless you find some crazy redneck with some diesel dolly and he's got a big chain and he's happy to pull you out and he's capable of it and he'll do it for a 6-pack of freaking, beer, more power to you. But in real life, if you got to call a wrecker to pull you out, it's going to be $300, $500, $800, $900. So where'd all your savings go? All your savings on fuel economy for your tires, you just threw it away and gave it to the guy pulling you out with a wrecker. So there's a reason that commercial bus tires, they're even listed as commercial bus tires, have aggressive tread. And the reason is these buses are designed to go on back roads to pick up school kids. You need the traction. Traction is very important. Trying to catch up on the comments here. Do you really need a CDL to drive it? If is your bus going to be registered as an RV, or is it going to be registered as a bus? I actually have a CDL, so it comes with my job, and I was able to legally drive my bus until I had it titled as an RV. But since I did the conversion and my bus is now titled as an RV, my wife can drive the bus. Anybody can drive the bus. A 16-year-old with a learner's permit can drive my bus. Of course, that's not going to happen. Yeah, it looks like we gained some viewers back. We got 8 tonight. That's pretty cool. Better than last time. Better than the last live video we did. I've still got... well, let me see how many I drank. 1 Milwaukee's Best. 2 Milwaukee's Best. I got 2 more. I had 2 earlier. I'm not going to count all the way to 4. So, yeah, we're going to have a long night, guys. We've been going on an hour. We got another hour to go. People will be coming home from the bar. Stevie Wonder can drive my... Well, no, he can't drive my bus. He can't see. And that's another thing about schoolie, okay? You got friends and stuff, you know? And they love your schoolie. You know, they've seen it. They've come and visited, or they've seen it on Facebook or whatever. And you're having a party or whatever, or people coming over and say, hey, can me and my girlfriend like stay the night in your schoolie? Get bent? Hell no. I wouldn't even no, it's not happening. Nobody stays in my schoolie. Me and my old lady, that's it. I mean, we might have a guest or whatever, but unattended, nobody's going to stay in my schoolie. We had Geopalooza last year, and there was a couple guys that showed up. They didn't bring a tent or anything because it was a weekend party. We were having a great time at Geopalooza, Geo Metro. I run geometroforum.com. I've been hosting annual meets every year, and these guys were like, hey, we didn't bring a tent or nothing. We've had a few beers, and we don't want to drive all the way back home, and we didn't get a room or anything. Do you think we can stay in your bus? I was like, no, that ain't happening. So I had a spare tent. I set them up, helped them set it up. They're good to go. RV and over 26,000 pounds. California? No, New York. Yeah, New York. Forgot about New York. Yeah, they got a lot of weird regulations up there. I didn't know this, but you cannot tow a tractor and trailer in the state of New York. If you are a truck driver and your truck breaks down and you pull off the interstate and you need a tow, they cannot tow your truck and trailer together as a unit. You have to separate the truck from the trailer and tow the truck, and then have someone come get your trailer or pay for another tow for the trailer. So that's one of them weird New York things. Ran into that when a guy, his clutch went out, and he was in New York, and he had to pay for 2 tows because they couldn't get another driver to pick up his trailer within the allotted time or whatever, and they were going to be fined. So very expensive. And like I said, don't park your schoolie where you think you're going to sink, because if you sink, you're going to need a tow. If you need a tow, it's going to cost you big bucks. Yeah, a lot of people are doing the Vermont license thing too. I guess you can register your vehicle in the state of Vermont even if you're not a resident. I see a lot of people on Schoolie.net and Schoolie Nation doing that. I don't know how that works, but I suppose it works. I mean, it's busy up in South Dakota, ain't it? There's a lot of oil business and shit going on. I have a couple friends that moved there just because the work that's available out there. I guess there's money to be made, but it's no paradise, especially in the wintertime. Have a good night, Heat Seeker. It was great having you on the channel. Enjoy yourself. We'll see you next time. And if I don't see you live, dude, I'll see you on my videos. I got more videos coming. Plenty more. Got a maintenance repair series going right now. I'm going to do a schoolie tips and tricks series, and I'm going to do a product review. You know, I'm going to review the fantastic fan. I'm going to review the Jensen 12-volt RV television set. I am going to review everything, the switch panel, the Boss boat stereo. I mean, it's going to be a pretty cool series. And everything I bought, good reviews, very good stuff. Stay warm, bud. It's cold out here. I mean, I got this little electric heater running, but it's still cold. Remember, I'm in a tin can. And then I wanted to talk about the insulation thing. And, you know, like spray foam and stuff. Here's my opinion about insulation. If you are really serious about insulating your bus, I think your best bet, if you want to stay warm, your best bet is to literally gut the entire interior and spend the money on spray foam and spray foam the insulation and then build from there. And that'll give you the best bang for the buck for insulation. But you also got to think that insulation holds heat too. So during the daytime, when the sun's beating down on your bus, on your metal roof, it's warm. It's warm in there no matter what. And it's going to hold that heat for hours even after the sun goes down. If you decide to go against spray foam because it's too expensive, which it is, I mean, you're talking, it's going to cost you $1,000 or $2,000 to spray foam your bus, depending on how you do it or who you talk to. I don't think replacing your original insulation or sound batting or whatever the hell you want to call it with foam insulation is going to make much of a difference. I really don't think it's going to change anything. I watch a lot of schoolie channels, and I've seen like the Hoodalas, okay? They pulled all their panels down and they put board insulation up, and then everywhere they screwed their wood ceiling into the metal ribs, the moisture would come down through the screw and the wood would have a wet spot around the screw holes everywhere they screwed it onto the bus. So, you know, that's part of the reason I kept my factory ceiling, because first, we're not full-timers. We're just, you know, recreational use. So the need for heavy-duty insulation wasn't there. And all the extra cost and work involved to pull out the old insulation just to replace it with something that is just as adequate, if not, you know, slightly better, is really not worth the payoff in the long run. So spray foam is the way to go. If I was to do this bus over again, knowing that I'm going to probably go full-time, you know, I think I would have did it that way. I would have stripped the entire interior of the bus and spray foamed it. That would have given me the best insulation. I don't think using foam board insulation, replacing the original insulation, does much of a difference. It don't have to be fast, Mark. If you want to do a channel on your build, just do it like I do. Just go raw. You don't need the fancy music. You don't need the drone footage of your bus and the pretty pictures and all. You don't need that. I mean, I'm not saying my channel's huge, because it's not. I mean, I don't have 1,000 subscribers, but I tell you what, I think I had 69 subscribers when I started my channel back in 2006. And when I bought my bus, I'm up to like 800 something subscribers or 700 something subscribers just because of the bus build. So people are searching on YouTube for bus build videos. So no matter what you do, if you get a channel going, it's not a hard thing. Just, do it raw. Do it like I do. It don't have to be fancy. And people will watch. And you'll get comments, and it'll slowly grow. It'll slowly pick up. It's not like you're out there to make money off of YouTube. Thanks, Daryl. 787. That's up one from yesterday. So I got a new subscriber. So YouTube's telling me that once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I can monetize my channel. Well, it's not going to happen, guys. Like I said, I don't want your money. Yeah, D. Redmond. I'm also subscribed to him. Yeah, there's a lot of slow builds out there. There's builds out there where I'll be watching them build a bus, and they'll let, the first couple months they'll have, 2 or 3, 4 videos and keep you entertained, and then boom, they disappear and you don't see them for like a whole winter. And then, oh, we're back and we're building our bus again. So yeah, it don't have to be, you're not going to put it this way. If you do a channel and you're focusing on like one thing, people subscribe, they watch your videos. And if you don't put out a video in 2-3 weeks or even a month or two, they're not going to just unsubscribe from you. They just forget about you until you, boom, oh my God, look, he got a new video out, and they'll watch it. I think if you also do too many videos, you don't get as popular either. I think if you do like videos every single day, unless you're like off the top entertaining, and making people laugh and smile and, putting out really, really good content, there's no sense in that. My videos, for the most part, are weekly. About once a week, I put out a video. And sometimes I'll wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It just depends. If I ain't got nothing going on, I ain't got nothing going on. Yep, good idea, Mark. Spray foam is the way to go if you're going full time. I agree. Yes. Oh, okay. Lose ranking on recommended channels. See, yeah, because Google and YouTube are all part of it. They're all together now. There are a lot of people lost their old YouTube channels because of the Google takeover or email issues or something like that. It happens. We're going on 1 hour and 20 minutes now. Pretty cool. I still got 2 more beers to go, and this one here is half full. What the hell? We ain't got nothing better to do but hang out on St. Patrick's Day. Hang out in the bus. It's like, right now, I'm not going to say it's warm because it is, according to my thermometer, it's 55 degrees in here. Outside is probably 30. No, Hang on. It is 26 degrees out, according to my laptop. So that's cold, but it's 55 in here. It's not too bad. And the only heat source I have is a little tiny 600 watt heater running off of a cord from the garage. If I was boondocking or full time in it, I'd be firing up the propane heater to get it warm in here. And it don't take long. I was telling you guys earlier, you fire that propane heater up and about 30, 45 minutes later, you're going to shut it off because it gets pretty warm. No man bun here, buddy. Not going to happen. This is the classic Camaro mullet. No sideburns. Business up front. Party in the back. Facial hair. The only facial hair allowed with the classic Camaro mullet would be the handlebar mustache, or the porn mustache is also acceptable. The goatee can be acceptable. Full beard, not acceptable. Then you get a lot of Jesus comments. So there will be no man bun here. I couldn't even put it in a man bun because I got nothing here. This is all short. This is all business, and this is all party. So the business and the party don't intermingle to make the man bun work. I mean, if I tried, I could pull it up this way, but see, that's not really a man bun. That's sort of like a samurai bun, right? So the man bun just does not work with the mullet. The man bun is not a man bun. It's a douche knot. Pretty much. It's the new hit. Come on. We've all gone through the same generation shit, all right? Our parents used to bust our balls about, growing long hair and rock and roll music and whatever. And then today's generation's getting their balls busted because man buns and flannel shirts and skinny jeans. I mean, and why do you wear those fake glasses? It is what it is. Every generation bitches about the next generation. And I think it's gradually been getting worse, I suppose, because I can only imagine what my grandfather would bitch about to my dad, because he didn't have a whole lot. I mean, you and your silly flat top haircut. I mean, come on. You and your 53 Studebaker. I don't know. What the hell did they have to complain about? Sure, my parents, they had a lot to complain about, all right? I had long hair, I had my ear pierced. Yes, I had my left ear pierced. I had bandanas, leather jacket, playing heavy metal music. I'd probably complain too, I guess, if I was them. Yeah, I'd probably complain too. And if I had a kid 20 years ago, let's say if I had a kid when I don't have no kids. Let's assume I had a kid in my 20s, and I'm 49 now. Wow. Damn. Imagine how different life would be. I'd have something to bitch about, but I don't. And I sleep good. I sleep real good. You had a nugget in the 90s? What the hell's a nugget, Daryl? I ain't never heard of no nugget. I heard of the rat tail. I actually had a rat tail before I grew the mullet. So I was like 13 when I grew my mullet back in 1983. And before I grew the mullet, I grew my hair out. It was all long. And then I got the business side done and then had a rat tail. And that didn't cut it. The rat tail didn't last like a year. That was gone. So, and not just me, but everyone. The rat tail came in style at a huge burst, and then all of a sudden it was out of style. But the mullet stuck with it. I guess, Daryl, it's that Milwaukee's Best Ice doing that. Make a nugget. You just create a new hairstyle, man. Hey, man, back when I had my nugget, it was pretty sweet. I mean, it was long up here and short back here. Sweet nugget. Oh, Caitlin. I love you. Hello, Caitlin. It's good to see you. Yes, I could do it in a thong or a Speedo. How about a Speedo? We could do a live shower video. How to shower in your schoolie, just like all the other ones. See, now, there's another thing about YouTube channels. There's another thing about YouTube channels. If I had a hot old lady, wearing bikinis all the time, shit, I wouldn't have 787 subscribers. I'd have 7,000 plus subscribers just to watch the booty. That's what it is. Sex sells. It's been the thing. Always been the thing. So, sorry, I don't have a hottie for my videos. It's not there. I'm your hottie. All right? I'm the man with the silver mullet. And if that ain't hot enough for you, I don't know what to tell you. It's definitely good to see you on the channel, Caitlin. By the way, everybody, Caitlin has been there since pretty much day one. She has been a very avid commenter and liker on my videos. She's awesome. It's good to have supporters like her on YouTube or anywhere. She's a great supporter. I assume if I had a Patreon, she might even become a patron. But we're not going there because I don't want your money. You know what I mean? I'm not here for your money. I will never ask you for money. I do have an Amazon wish list I could share with you. I could put a link down there, my Amazon wish list. There you go. If you want to buy something, go for it. There's stuff there from $6 to $100, whatever you want to do. But no, I don't want your money. Never going to ask for money. I'm never going to give you a side boob or butt or all the eye candy stuff. It's just me, my laptop or my phone or my tablet, and my pause button. So, see, I do want to focus on the mechanical thing with my channel because a lot of people really like that. Now, granted, my engine configuration is very popular. A lot of people that have schoolies have this engine. So I assume they're watching my repair series, I wish I could get more in depth with those videos. I've even explained on other videos that I've done that I spent the time and actually filmed all the work, and then something happened. I hit the wrong button on my tablet and the video's gone and I lost it all. So I have to restart, and it's like, well, here's what I did. Here's what I did. This is how you do it, instead of actually getting in there. But with me being able to get this live working the way it is right now, and I actually have Wi-Fi from the house to the bus, since I moved the router, I can do live right out here when I'm working on the bus. I can do live at the shop when I'm working on the bus. So those live videos, even though they're live at the time, and depending on, hey, I didn't get to announce my next live video, the viewer count might be small like it is tonight. We had, 10 people at the most. The video is still there. People can still watch it, and they can see, what I fixed or repaired. So we do have a lot more coming up with the maintenance and repair series. So I'm definitely going to keep that one rolling. Mullet Schoolie build episodes, those are going to continue as I do any upgrades on the inside of the bus. So I assume any upgrades I do in here would go on the Scully build, or even the exterior, like paint work or whatnot. Adding a cargo rack, a trailer hitch. Those will stay on the Scully series episodes, and any actual repairs or maintenance will go on the repair and maintenance series. And then, like I said, I'm totally gonna do the product review series, and I'm gonna do the Scully tips and tricks. It's like if this was episode 1 of Scully tips and tricks, I think it would be something like, what's the right bus for you? What are your plans with the bus? Let's assume you are new to Scully life and you have just watched a video or you've seen pictures on Instagram of a Scully, and now you got the Scully bug and you want to build a Scully. Why do you want to build a Scully? Do you want to build a Scully for recreational use, or are you going to go full-time in your Scully? These are the things that are going to decide what bus you need, what your budget's going to be, and what you're going to be able to do to accomplish it. And like I keep telling people, the very first step in a Scully is you have to have a place to build it. Okay? If you live in the inner city of a large city, and you bring a bus and you squeeze it in your driveway, or you park it in front of your house on the road, you are going to get cited and ticketed. Neighbors are going to complain. Your Scully project's never going to take off, and you're going to end up selling it. Okay? Even if you have a backup plan at Uncle Charlie's farm or whatever, or maybe, your brother-in-law, he's got a place you can build it. You better have a backup plan behind that backup plan, because Uncle Charlie might be sick of looking at your school bus after 2 months and he wants it off the property. Or, maybe your brother-in-law is like, you know what? All right, it's been a month or two. The neighbors are complaining. Get your Scully out of here. You got to understand the very first obstacle of Scully life is making sure you can actually build it somewhere where you don't have to worry about getting it towed, getting ticketed, or getting cited. That's a very, very important thing. And then we'll move on to like the size of your bus. What kind of bus do you want? Do you want a rear engine 40-foot bus because you have 3 kids, 2 dogs, 5 cats, 3 parakeets, and a goldfish? Yeah, you're going to need a large bus. If you're just a couple with no children, a bus like mine would be perfect. You could even go with a shorter bus. A young couple could go with a E-Series van chassis bus and live comfortable full-time in it. If you are a couple with 1 child, a shorty would be okay, but you want something a little bigger. Now, there's other configurations you got to talk about. Do you want a dog-nose bus where you can easily work under the hood, work on the engine? Or if that's out of the question, you're not going to work on it anyway, do you want a flat-face bus? Do you want a front engine, rear engine? Rear engine's quieter when you're driving. Front engine's noisy when you're driving. Is that an issue? Yes, before, building, after. I should have weighed my bus before and after, and I have not weighed my bus either. So I have no idea what my bus weighs right now. I know the GVW is 19,000. So this bus is rated at 19,000 pounds. But I know I'm way under that. If I was to guess, I would have to say that currently, right now, even with a full tank of gas and a full water tank, I'm about 15,000 pounds. That's a guess. Literally, I need to go up to the truck stop there at Love's and get on the scale and actually get a reading, because it would be good to know what my weight is. Now, one thing I did is I measured the height. I don't have it written on the dashboard, but I did want to know how tall my bus was because low bridges, and my bus is just under 10 feet. My bus is actually 9 feet 11 inches. So I know the height of the bus. I know where it's going to fit. So that's good. And it's actually shorter than a lot of RVs. Big travel trailer campers and Class A motorhomes, they're right around 12 feet. And some are a little bit taller. And my bus is under 10 feet. And my bus from bumper to bumper is 28 foot. And 28 foot, it really allows you to park in a lot of places where a larger Class A motorhome or a 40-foot bus could not park. And another thing, I can also maneuver my bus, which is very important. Uncle Charlie is putting chickens in the bus. School of you, that's hilarious. I'm trying to build my bus and Uncle Charlie's putting all these chickens in here. I got chicken poop on my floor. I just got done gluing pennies down over the freaking seat holes. I did that, by the way. If you guys remember Roll With It, when they were building their bus, and she glued pennies on all the holes in the floor, that's what I did. No shit. Yes. So Kaylee J from Roll With It, she did the gluing the pennies to the floor thing, and hey, you know what? I silicone pennies to my floor too. Oh my God, you got dissimilar metals on the interacting with each other. Bullshit, it's under the floor. Who cares? It works. It sealed my holes. My holes are completely sealed, and each hole's worth a penny for your thoughts. Right? You're going to do a roof raise? I didn't want... You don't see too many short buses with a roof raise. I did not want to do a roof raise. As a matter of fact, I'm totally comfortable with my roof because I have an inch to spare over my head. So unless I'm jumping up and down or anything, I'm all right. Now, even if I move over here, I'm okay, and I touch right about here. And where I'm touching is where the bench is. And then over here in the kitchen area, it's the same thing. When I'm working at the sink, my head's nowhere near the roof, even though the roof is getting lower here, right? It's not like I'm doing dishes like this. You get it? So, you know. So I left my roof the way it is. Even if I had a longer bus, I think the roof raise, it does bring, you know, it makes it a lot larger inside. It changes the whole atmosphere of the bus. But I didn't need a roof raise, so I'm happy with the height. All I can say is I'm better off than in a schoolie than I am in a van, even a high topper. Yeah, I met Wes. I met Wes down at Schoolie Palooza. He's a great guy. I got to talk to him for about an hour. Me and the old lady went in his bus. We talked about his bus, of course. We talked about my bus, and we talked about what he does to make money on the road. And that's what he does. Welding, fabrication, roof raises. He does it all. So, all right, Mark, you're 6'7". You must have a roof raise. There's no way around it. Even if you bought a bus from the state of New York, I think they have a 6'7" is the tallest roof I think you can get. I think I'm not sure. I know they had 6'2", 6'4", and I think New York has 6'7" buses available. But even then, you're scraping your head. By the time you do your subfloor and insulate, you're going to lose height there. 4K for a roof raise? Wow, dude. No shit. He's making a killing. That's pretty good money. Wow. That's crazy. I saw Wes. I was watching a van build. Some young lady building a Ford van or some shit, and he was actually doing a roof raise on a bus and helping her at the same time. So, yeah. I know Wes gets around, and he makes money on the road doing welding, repair, fabrication. But, wow, I didn't think he was charging that much for a roof raise. So, his roof raise probably includes all the time, labor, and materials, right? Or are we talking that he gets paid that much and you got to buy the materials? Wow. See, now, if I go full time, I can make money wrenching. All right. Not just on schoolies, but RVs, campers. I know how to work on them. I know how to work on diesel trucks. I've been a diesel mechanic all my life. So if I was to ever go full time, I could make a living on the road. I could probably put a website up, some kind of mechanic, mobile mechanic crap, whatever, and make a living on the road. So that would not be too difficult for me to make some side money on the road. Granted, this bus is not really equipped to be a mobile mechanic bus. My garage space is limited, but I could haul enough tools back there to make it happen. But, if I'm out there working on people's vehicles and I'm getting dirty and greasy, I don't have an outside shower hookup or outside water spigot. There's a lot of things I need to consider if I was to do that. Oh, I'm not dissing Wes either. He's a great mechanic. He's a great guy. I love Wes. I love watching his videos. He's serious about what he does, and he does it right. He don't piss around. That's like when he was helping Chris and G Travels or whatever, off-grid schoolie with the roof rack and stuff on that. I mean, there was some extensive work involved with that. That was no, easy peasy date. A lot of work involved. Do you think, if I was to think, am I capable of doing a roof raise? I could probably do it. And once I do the first one, I could do it again. Yeah, stable. And if you're going to do a roof raise, you want to do it right. You don't want to compromise the integrity of the bus, and just hack it together. It's got to be solid. It's got to be straight up solid. Even that Life is a Joy channel. Can't remember his name. The old man, he does a lot of work too. He's pretty good at carpentry work and plumbing and all that stuff. I've been watching him helping Chris with off-grid schoolie bus. And then you got Jax Austin. We all love Jax, right? Since I've been watching Jax from the beginning, he is not mechanically inclined or a carpenter or anything, but he's got a lot of freaking friends. He's got a lot of backup, and he's got a lot of people helping him out. And good for him. He's the second bus that he's building right now. It's pretty sweet. He did the whole spray foam thing. I love watching Jax Austin's channel. And man, that badge guy, he's like me in 10 years. He's a retired mechanic, and it's a good guy to have around, you know, especially in the schoolie life. You want somebody like that. You're going to need his help. And I like Jack's new bus. His old bus was pretty cool too. I mean, it was cool. But his new bus is pretty sweet. And he keeps saying he might be doing another bus, but I don't think so, because the bus he has now, he did it right. I mean, he didn't do a roof raise or anything because he really don't need to. He's not like a tall guy or anything. But he did the whole spray foam insulation. He's getting everything done correctly. And man, he's doing it right. He's doing it right. So, and he's got a lot of help. And that's what's cool about Jax, man. He's got so many friends, you know, and they're just willing to help him out. And that's awesome. Yeah. Labor free. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's paying the guys some way. There's no way he's doing the shit for free. I doubt it. But I don't even know what he does for income. I mean, I don't know what Jax does for a job. I don't think he has like a job, or he works online or something like that. Maybe he gets a check every month for something, or I don't know. But I think on his last video, or not his last video, a lot of his videos, right, he gets a lot from product sponsors. Exactly. A lot of the stuff and products that he gets are from sponsors, because people see the stuff on his videos, and that's advertisement for them. So yeah, that's a big thing. That's a huge thing. Just like his old bus when he had it wrapped. You're right, Mark. He does learn. He's actually been learning along the way, and that's what makes it great. That's what makes Jax's channel great, because in the beginning, he doesn't know how to do anything. And as he's going along and learning from his friends that are helping him, he's actually learning how to do stuff which he never knew how to do before, which is, it's sweet, you know? And he's young, you know, he's a young guy. He's got a long way to go. He's going to learn a lot in his lifetime. And having a great crew like he does, you know, and great friends helping him, that's a big plus. I'm not into the veggie thing because of the cold climates where I'm at right now. I could veggie convert this bus, no problem. The T444E73 loves running on biodiesel, no problem. But in my opinion, I don't think the time involved is worth the expense saved. This is just my opinion. Getting French fry oil or grease and then filtering it and putting it in the tank and then hoping you don't have clogs or system, you know, problems or whatever. I'm just going to run diesel in my bus. Is the way to go. So, and actually, Jax has transmission problems right now, and his bus has the same engine and transmission as my bus. So he has a T444E with an AT545. And a couple videos ago, he stated that he was having transmission problems, and Badge is going to help him convert his bus from an AT545 to a MT643. So he's going to have a overdrive transmission installed in his bus with the help of Badge and whoever else. And I even commented on his video that he made, the transmission video, Transmission Issues, I think was the name of it. I even commented, dude, if you do a video on how to swap an AT545 with an MT643, that would be awesome. And he said he's going to, with the help of Badge. So that's going to be something to watch out for. I know doing a MT643 swap from an AT545, there's a little bit more involved. It's not a direct swap. You have to add bracing across the frame to help support the transmission. I don't think there's much as far as electronics are involved. But there is a length difference between the two transmissions. So your drive shaft that goes from your transmission to your rear end, you have to have it shortened. And a few other things you got to do to make it work. I think there's bell housing issues. It all depends on what transmission and bell housing configuration you have. Yeah, I watch Navigation Nowhere. He's good. There was another schoolie channel, Bluebird Parkway. They started building their bus, and I haven't heard from them in a couple months. There was not Expedition Happiness, but Expedition Nowhere or Expedition something. I can't remember the name of their channel. I'd have to look them up. I ain't got time for that right now. I haven't heard from them in a while. A lot of schoolie build videos. I'm subscribed to like a lot of schoolie channels, and some are successful and some are not. Like I said earlier, James Jeffrey Binney. Whatever happened to Earl the Bus? James Jeffrey Binney. I mean, I think he got as far as his cement table, and that was the last time I heard from him. Don't know what's going on there. He had a pretty entertaining video. Yes, definitely add an exhaust brake. I agree. I think I'm going to check something real quick. Don't go anywhere. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to step outside and I'm going to take a leak. I'm going to go check on something real quick. Excuse me. There we go. I had to check on a few things, but it's all good, right? Oh, I could have used the bathroom back here, right? Could have. Oh, looks like I'm going to crack number 5. 5 Milwaukee Best Ice. And this little tiny heater ain't doing shit. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Oh, and another thing about insulation. If you're doing the whole insulation thing, and insulation is very important, the factory windows, you lose a lot of heat. Right now, temperature has dropped. Okay, it was 55 degrees in here whenever I said it was. You'll have to rewind the video. I have no idea. But right now, it is down to 44 degrees. So it's getting chilly, even with this little heater running. I'm not going to break out the propane heater to continue on with the live video. If I get too cold, I'm just going to say, hey, guys, we had a good night. You know, we're out of here. Not a big deal. Let's get back over here where I was. There we go. Much better. Yeah, it's getting chilly. You lose a lot of heat out your windows. So, I suppose reflective material or insulated curtains would probably help. Maybe a little bit. But seriously, Even if you did the whole spray foam thing, you're going to lose a lot of heat. So I suppose if you're going to do the whole spray foam thing, you want to go ahead and go with the insulated RV windows too. Probably make a pretty big difference. Tax money, yep. Once I get some tax money, I want to do some more work on my bus. I don't have the fundage right now, especially since after my vacation, to do a whole lot. But tax time, what I want to do is I want to get a rear cargo rack and a hitch installed on my bus. This way we can flat tow one of our cars with a tow dolly, tow bar, not dolly, a tow bar, and be able to tow the car around. And the rear cargo rack would be nice for a little bit of extra storage, outside storage. You got to be careful with RV windows, though, because I see a lot of RVs. I work on a lot of RVs. There are two classes of RV windows. A lot of the cheaper camper trailers, their windows, the seals that go around, they shrink up in just a few years. And you'll notice that the seal that comes around the window, instead of being all the way in the corner, sort of shrinks up, and water wants to get in. So, but there are other like motorhomes, higher class motorhomes that have a better insulated RV window. So there are definitely different classes of RV windows out there. Yes, I had to let it out, and I feel better. I feel much better. This one's empty. I picked that thing up like 4 times. There we go. There's the full one. See, I wanted blackout curtains. We actually argued about the windows, the curtains, because I had these black plastic mud flaps, right? So what I wanted to do is I wanted black insulated thermal curtains that would not just go from here to here, but all the way down. So that would keep a lot of the cold air from coming in the bus. But she wanted the white curtains, so I didn't want to argue. White curtains it is. I think the thermal curtains would have been better. But like I said, we're recreational use. We're not full-timing. So let's assume I would have to go full-time. Let's assume the landlord got a hold of me and said, John, I'm selling the house. You guys got to move. I'm not going to move into another house. I'm probably going to go full-time. And what we'll have to do is sell over our shit and live in here. Now, if that's the case, what am I going to do to make the schoolie that I already built more comfortable in the cold weather? So, since I did not, now I did insulate the floor. It's not a lot. It's a 1/4 inch insulation on the floor underneath the subfloor. The walls in the ceiling, I left factory. I didn't cut the original walls and pull all that insulation out. All that insulation is still in there. But all this 2x4 framing that you see around all the windows goes all the way down to the floor. Okay? Both sides of the bus, all the way back. In between the 2x4s, underneath everything you don't see, there is R13 pink foam insulation from front to back. So the floor has been insulated. The walls have been insulated, but we still lose a lot of our thermal heat through the windows. The roof, I'm not going to say we lose much through the roof. I don't think. So we're not going to go with mud. No mud, schoolie you. So I think if we were to go full time and to make it a little more comfortable in here, We would definitely have to use thermal curtains to keep it warmer. As far as electricity goes, we're good to go. The 2-1. See, that's another thing about schoolie builds. Okay, this is where I'm going to touch bases on this before I call it a night. And I'm going to bring this up in other videos, like in my schoolie tips and tricks videos. And you guys are schoolie guys too. Are you going to put 110 volt wiring and 110 volt lighting and 110 volt shit all through your bus? Or are you going to keep it simple, 12 volt, like I did with my bus? See, that's a big thing. A lot of schoolie builds I see, all right, and they're right from the get-go, they're running Romex wiring, they're putting house switches in, house lighting, 110 volt everything in their bus, expecting that the grid is always there. But if not, they're going to put solar in. And in order to run 110 volt TV, 110 volt charger for your laptop, 110 volt coffee maker, 110 volt refrigerator, 110 volt lights, you need, 6, 7, 800 watts of solar minimum. You need more than that, actually. And then as far as a battery bank goes, you're going to need 700-800 amp hours or more of battery juice and able to keep up with the current draw from 110 volt systems. I don't understand why. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a 110 volt refrigerator. I can run my 110 volt refrigerator off of a power inverter. No problem. But the rest of the bus is 12 volt. So everything in here, if I was to turn every light on in this bus, porch light, every inside light, stereo, TV, turn it all on, and go on vacation, leave the bus home with everything on, when I come back, everything will still be on. Because that's the way I built my system. You understand? It's a self-replenishing system. It works every time. But if I was to build everything 110 volt, the solar system I have and the battery bank is inadequate. Not even enough. Like for the time I've been out here right now, with the lights I have on, if these were 110 volt lights, my batteries would be dead already. Dead. Yes, you can go 24 volt system. Yes, that's also another option. But 12 volt accessories, 12 volt appliances, 12 volt lights, 12 volt items are so much more readily available. I love my 12 volt bus. I mean, everything in here is livable. We lived in it for 2 weeks when we went on our cross-country schooling trip. So we had all the light, we had television, we had stereo, music, and the cooking and heating was propane. And the refrigeration came from the power inverter. And we had enough juice to run the refrigerator and run all the lights, run the TV, run the stereo, no problem, day after day after day. The refrigerator and the power inverter draw just as much juice as everything on the 12 volt side. So the 110 volt side with the refrigerator running draws just as much juice as having everything on the 12 volt side. So there's a big loss there, a huge loss. If I had it my way, I wouldn't have a large 110 volt refrigerator in my bus. I would have a 12 volt refrigerator. But it's nice to have a large refrigerator, especially when you don't drink from your water tank. The water tank in my bus we use for dishes. Washing dishes, anytime you need water for this or that. We don't drink the water. We drink, from gallon jugs or whatever, which is nice to have the extra capacity in the refrigerator for food and water. And of course, beer. You got to have the beer. Well, you see, my boss, he's got a motorhome, okay? The owner of my shop has a very large Class A type motorhome, and it's very expensive. It's a fancy motorhome. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. But when he takes his motorhome and brings it to the shop, he's pulling his cord out and he's plugging it into the shop. And then, all right, hey, boss, you got to move your motorhome because we got to bring this job in. He pulls the cord out, wraps it back up, pulls his motorhome out back, pulls the cord back out, and plugs it in again. It's like, dude, you need to go solar. You know what I mean? No, but the reason is his entire coach is built on 110 volt. And his battery bank, he has 2 of them huge ass, I think they're 8D. I can't remember the name. Huge batteries. And they're like $1,000 a piece. You know, and they go dead. He says after a day, they're dead. He has to plug in. I mean, otherwise he's firing up the generator. He's got to run the generator, you know, after a day of using it just to get the batteries charged back up. I thought about a propane fridge. I seriously considered a propane RV fridge, and I almost got one. It was from a wrecked RV, but I had to take the whole RV, and he wanted the whole thing gone, and it would have costed me more money to tow the damn thing out of his property than it was worth. I could have got a lot of stuff out of that RV. I could have got the rooftop air conditioner. I could have got the little stove. I like this stove. This little apartment size stove, it's nice. It's pretty sweet. But anywho, we are down to 40 degrees in here. Now, if I wanted to warm it up, I could break out the propane heater, but I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call it a night. So what we're going to do now is we're going to end the stream. I want to thank you guys for a very successful live feed tonight, because my last live video, I had like 3 viewers. We had 10 tonight, which is awesome. So that's pretty sweet. So I got a couple beers to finish. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the house where it's warm. I could hang out here too. I mean, and fire up the heater and all that, but why? I mean, unless I just want to hang out with you guys. But, you know, I got to get up in the morning. I got some stuff I want to do. It's not going to be warm, of course. But anyway, I appreciate the support. I appreciate you all watching. And I thanks for the comments. I've been reading the comments all night. Everybody here's cool. And it's good to have you guys watching my channel. It's good to have the subscribers. I thank you all for watching. And I'm going to end the stream now. And I hope you all have a good night. And stay tuned to my channel because we got some really cool stuff coming. So have a good one, y'all. Of course I want to end the stream. Why would I click the button? Good night, Caitlin. Good night, School of You. Everybody else, thank you for watching. Yes, I want to end the stream. See y'all later.